Salutations everyone, this is Razor, going over the changes to Smash Brothers in the 1.14 patch that gave us Corrin and Bayonetta. Few changes, few nerfs, mostly buffs. There were some changes to the frame invincibility on hard trip state, so now that everyone has 5 frames, so Fox and Kirby have changes related to this. Also identical to soft trip, hard trip, stand up, forward roll, and back roll iframes from a soft or hard trip state, so as basically it gives everyone the same invincibility data on trips, which wasn't the case with a handful of characters. So let's get into, let's go over the nerfs first of all, because there aren't that many. The mostly thought of top 3 characters in the game were all nerfed. Sheik, Rosalina, and Zero Suit Samus. All of their weights were decreased by 1 unit. That was the only change given to Rosalina. Sheik got changes in her up special vanish disappearance hitbox. The knockback growth was decreased by 2 and the hitbox size was decreased by 1. This mainly will manifest itself in the down throw 50-50 mix up at kill percents. It doesn't seem like it's going to make that big of a change. I didn't notice anything specifically myself. So don't know if this will really make that big of an impact. Similarly to Zero Suit, her boost kick's final hit angle was reduced by 2% in angle, and the knockback growth was reduced by 11%. I think this will not manifest itself in your up special chains. I think this will mostly manifest itself in a grounded boost kick or a lower to the ground boost kick, where you're used to being able to kill with rage at a certain percent. Now it's just going to take a little bit of extra. So these changes don't really change any of these 3 characters. There's actually very few changes that will really affect how the character plays or is placed on a tier list, or how well they will perform. So let's get in with Bowser. In the previous patch, Bowser got an up throw combo throw. And this hasn't been changed outside of the fact that the knockback growth was changed from 155 to 180. So what this means is that at higher percents, you won't be able to get those up throw, up air kills, especially with rage. So say you're both at 110, your opponent's at 130, and you just have some rage. You won't be able to get that confirmed kill off of up throw, but you'll still get those really nice, low percents and mid percents and high percent up throw mix-ups there with Bowser, so it doesn't really change him. Also, these flying slam was buffed a little bit in hitbox size on the air as well as the ground. Most of these changes are just basically moving hitboxes very slightly or giving you a little bit less landing lag on many of these tools. So that's basically it for Bowser. Doesn't really change him. Similarly, we have Bowser Jr., who got buffs to his Fair, his Bear, and all of his smash attacks. So now his Fair and Bear are going to do more damage, have greater knockback growth, both on the normal hit and late hit on the Fair and Bear. Bear does not get a normal hit boost. So this makes him safer on shield, a little bit stronger, a little bit more knockback growth, so he'd be killing 2, 3, 4% earlier, maybe up to 6, like between 3 and 6% earlier. When it comes to these kind of subtle changes. They made all of his smash attacks faster. His forward smash got a nice 4 frames shaved off it. Up smash got 5 frames shaved off. And his down smash got 8 frames shaved off. So this mostly is noticeable in his forward smash because it's a lot faster now. It's more easy to punish people, catch people off their rolls or what have you, get them off of the ledge. So it's just a safer option to kill. Up smash, even safer out of shield. Down smash, you don't really use anyway because it's his worst smash. It's not that great, but if you're trying to cover a roll or get someone off the ledge, then it's going to be a little bit faster now. So that is all well and good. Charizard got another buff to his up smash. The last buff didn't really do it, so they finally got it right this time. They lowered the knockback on his first hitbox, so he'll be able to chain into the second and third hitbox much better. They moved some of the hitbox positioning even further now, so they absolutely are much better at changing. And the third hitbox size was increased as well, and the knockback growth of all 3 were increased by 2, 4, and 6 respectively. So they're now all at 107 on the knockback growth. So makes it a stronger, more safe, reliable move instead of people falling out of it like they would so often. But it's still his worst smash attack. It's still fairly weak. You won't be killing until like the 120s or 130s without rage. With rage, maybe you can start killing it, you know, high hundreds. But it makes it an actual move that you can use now, which is pretty nice. Within that same vein, Falco, who had a change to his up smash in the previous patch that didn't do what it should have done, this one, just like Charizard, fixed it the second time around. So now the first hit will link into the second hit much better. They changed the knockback growth on the first hit so they can link better into the second hit, and they increased the base knockback of both of them to make them link a little bit better. And changing some of the hitbox positioning on the X-axis as well. And they also increased his down smash knockback growth by 2. Doesn't change Falco, just gives him a nice, safer up smash that people aren't going to be able to be punishing so much. And they also removed a bug where his down throw could ledge spike if he used it against Captain Falcon, Ganondorf, or Samus at the ledge. So that's no longer a thing, which didn't seem like a problem. I didn't notice it before, but you know, they're really good at catching some of those things. So now let's get into some of the buffs that really make a difference. With our Fire Emblem characters, we have Ike. He got buffs to his Nair, his Fair, his Forward Smash, and his Neutral Special. So his Nair, Sour Spot, and Sweet Spot damage were both increased by 1, and the angle was changed so it's easier to get a follow-up after it, a Tech Chase or a Grab Reset. Already his best aerial, that Nair. But now with the buff to his Fair, you might be able to throw some more Fairs in there. Increase the damage by 1, and also increased the range and the middle hitbox placement. So that now that is safer on shield. It'll be a better edge guarding tool, and it's just a better move overall. So you'll be able to mix in more Fairs along with your Nairs depending on the situation. His Forward Smash got a buff in the Sour Spot damage department, was increased by 2. The angle was changed, and the sound effect was changed. The Forward Smash probably shouldn't have a Sour Spot in the first place because Ike's Forward Smash is very slow and should be rewarding regardless of where it hits, but nonetheless it does have a Sour Spot, but now it is a better Sour Spot. So hopefully you'll get some of those kills that you were previously robbed of before. And the Eruption non-fully charged flame hitbox duration was increased by 2. So you don't have to worry about your timing quite as much. Just a nice little slight change that doesn't make that big of a difference. So mostly is to his Nair and his Fair, which were very nice changes. Now to Little Mac. Little Mac, with all of his smash attacks, the damages were increased, but the knockback growth was decreased. His knockback was already crazy on his smash attacks, and you use them more often than most other characters' smash attacks to rack up damage. So now that they do greater damage, I think this will be better for Little Max. And that knockback growth getting slight nerfs, I think doesn't really matter all that often since they're always incredibly strong. They also changed the up tilt angle from 85 degrees to 88 degrees, and the hitbox startup was shaved off 1 frame on startup, as well as the entire duration of the hitbox. Basically with that angle, it's easier to chain your up tilts and to hopefully get a follow-up after that. So pretty decent changes to Little Mac, but he is still Little Mac, of course. So now's the biggest change, I think, is to Marth and Lucina. They got the same exact changes as always. Unfortunately, Shield Breaker wasn't de-nerfed, but they got buffs to Jab 1, Jab 2, Forward Tilt, Down Tilt, Nair, Fair, Bear, Up Air, Dare, Up Tilt, Down Smash, and Dancing Blade. Mostly all of them are faster and have greater range for the most part, moving that hitbox position by half a unit, changing the duration of your forward tilt, shaving 3 frames off of that, shaving 3 frames off of your jab. So to makes it your forward tilt and your up tilt are basically a lot safer and able to cover your opponent's options much faster, and just gives you better zoning capabilities with that sword. It could be especially at the ledge with that increased range and speed of your forward tilt, I think is very, very nice. And the fact that the down tilt is even faster and is longer, even better for your edge guarding capabilities. The Fair got a buff from 8.5 to 10.5 on Lucina, and of course with Marth and his whole tipper mechanic, his Sour went from 7 to 8, and Tipper went from 10 to 11.5. And similar to the Bear, all buffs all around. The down smash shaved 10 frames, so now that is much better for covering rolls and ledge get up options, as well as sometimes just getting straight up kills. They buffed the dare, both the normal and the tipper meteor damage. So that is very good. Noticeable. Dancing Blade got a frame shaved off on the startup. The same thing was given to Roy. So I think these are big changes for Marth and Lucina. We've already seen, you know, some subtle buffs to these characters every now and again, but I think this might be one of the bigger ones, giving them both greater range and better frame data, faster aerials and tilts, and just making things faster and better for our little sword users. So going on to Roy, he got landing lag reduction on all of his aerials, and of course that frame off of double edge dance. So his Nair is even a better approach option, losing 2 frames of lag. Well, with two frames of lag losing off of your up air, you can get some melee-esque up air chains going there with Roy, and making his fair a safer option by losing 2 frames off of that. Dare losing 5 frames. It's of course not going to affect your spiking opportunities because that's going to be off stage anyway, but still a much safer attack regardless of this situation. Moving on to Toon Link, he got some buffs as well. His bear landing lag was reduced by 5 frames, and his forward smash first hit was altered so you can properly connect with the second hit at more percentages. So quite often the first hit, especially if you have rage, you would lose the chance to get that second hit within range of your opponents, but now that window, that range of percentages that you can connect is it's much greater. And they also knocked off some startup on his spin attack, so that's even better for covering rolls or coming out of shield. Just some good stuff, both charged and uncharged. And yeah, that's it. Those are all the changes in the 1.14 update. Some tripping, invincibility throughout a variety of characters, but the biggest one changes when it came to the buffs were to Marth, Lucina, and to Ike. I don't see much difference coming out of Toon Link out of those, and with the up smash buffs to Charizard and Falco, it makes them better, makes them useful, but doesn't change the character. I don't think any of these buffs or nerfs really change the way any of these characters will perform. Just some things are safer, some things have greater range or less landing lag, but I don't think we'll be seeing any changes like tier list wise, except for possibly Marth and Lucina. These are definitely really great changes, especially because of the range and the damage from those fairs. Just some really good stuff, especially after getting that down throw, possible up throw combos, or up air combos off of that down throw. And yeah, so a little bit more viability in some moves and in some characters, but overall, Kirby, of course, got a buff because he got to copy Corrin and Bayonetta's attacks, but we are almost a year and a half from launch, and Jigglypuff still doesn't have any buffs, so thanks, Sakurai.